we're just going to record it so we can put it up on our website, and with both Shivani's and Anthony's details as well. So if anyone wants to listen to it and get in contact with them, they will be up on our website. So thank you again for Anthony and Shivani. They've kindly offered to discuss about personal insurances and business, and they both work for PIC Insurance Brokers in Pukekohe, so they are very much local. So I will pass you over to Anthony. I think he's going to give a bit of a background about PIC, and then Shivani is going to carry on as well. So feel free to use the chat function if you want to ask them any specific questions, and Eden and Sarah here will be managing that. So thank you.
No worries, thanks for that. Welcome everyone. I'm Anthony, as Bridget said, from PIC Insurance, and I'm joined here with Shivani, who's following me on. So a little bit about PIC Insurance. We've been helping our clients for over 35 years now. Originally started with a little office in Panmure called the Panmure Insurance Centre, hence the name PIC. And we are now one of the largest 100% New Zealand owned brokerages with offices throughout the country. So we've got a few offices in Auckland, one in the North Shore in Takapuna, the Pukekohe office, and our main office in East Tamaki. And then we've also got offices in Cambridge and Tauranga and all the way down to Timaru. So as a brokerage, we look to understand your needs and business to deliver results that work for you. Our founder, Mike Garner, who unfortunately passed away last year, he was ahead of the curve, so to speak, in what he offered to our clients, because he looked to make brokers salaried rather than offering commission-based pay. So in doing that, the best position for the client was then available rather than the broker seeking commissions from the highest insurer. They actually worked best for the client and delivered products and services that met their needs rather than the broker chasing a commission-based incentive. So we are proud to work in and support our local communities, some of which are shown on the side there. Where obviously the big one we do is the PIC Coastal Classic. We've been doing that for over 10 years now. And we've also got Auckland Rugby, Counties Manukau, Waikato Rugby, the Northern Netball, which is the Mystics. And we've recently just put in a scholarship for the under-18 Blues player to sponsor them to remain in Auckland and continue their studies in Auckland and play for the Blues. That was interesting stuff that we're doing in that space. We are experts in insurance and advocate for our clients at all times, and we're also a full service brokerage. So we've got commercial, domestic, marine, personal and employee benefits teams. And we work with all the major insurers in New Zealand. Okay, I'll pass you on to Shivani now, who's going to talk about the individual and the retail side of the business.
Thanks, Anthony. So I would like to talk mostly about the life insurance and health insurance and what we call about the trauma, which is the critical illness. So basically you would have seen all these benefits, all these insurances into the market, but I'm pretty sure that some of the contents would be quite arduous to understand what exactly they mean and what exactly they are going to help you out. So when we are talking about the life insurance, it is basically if a person would pass away, then we talk about like how we can help that person, that amount, the amount insured should go to the person's policy holders, or it should go to the beneficiaries. That's how it is being built up. And most of our benefits which are coming through are from the top insurance companies. So we are talking about AIA, Partners Life, we are talking about Fidelity Life, we are talking about the Astron, as well as the Chubb, which has been rebranded from Cigna Insurance. Now, going through those things, we always follow the 6-step advice process. And what does that mean is that we always try to establish and define what exactly a client would need in terms of having the insurance as a full-on kind of benefit into their lives. So first of all, we try to gather all the information. We will try to understand what exactly you would like to achieve in terms of your goals and your risk tolerance. We will try to analyze your financial situation, what kind of circumstances you have at the moment. And on that basis, we try to develop a plan which is actually tailor-made as per your situation and considering all your aspects of the life. Now, before implementing any kind of insurances or any kind of plans we have developed, we would like to discuss it with the client personally. And as per their convenience or as per the agreement, we would recommend the recommendations and then we would apply those things into the plan. And thereafter, the last step, which we would do is to monitor, review, and report on the insurances. What does that mean is we probably write down the policy once, and then after 1 year, we do the review process. Now, what does the review means that maybe your personal situation would have changed. Maybe in business side, something would have changed your circumstances. Maybe you would have gone through some kind of personal circumstances. We would like to know all those factors. And on that basis, we can always do the recommendations to find out that maybe you're underinsured or maybe you're overinsured. So these are the factors we do. And this is the kind of the 6-step process we always follow to do the advice process. Now, going further, once we have ascertained all your needs, all your circumstances, and whatever the recommendations would have come through and whatever the company you would have preferred, on that basis, we go to the market and we actually go to implement your policies in place. This is basically what we call as the retail plan. Can we go to the next slide, please? Okay, so here we are having a list of the different insurance benefits, which I'm going to talk about in total nutshell. As I started with the life cover, which is basically if somebody is dead or somebody has gone through any kind of critical terminal illness, you would say, like the doctor would say that the person is going to stay maybe another 12 months or so. In that scenario, the life cover amount is being paid out. The second important insurance, which I actually recommend, highly recommend to all my clients, is the trauma insurance. And the reason being to have the trauma insurance is that they cover about 47 to 50 conditions in your life. It could be like heart attack, cancer, stroke, any kind of critical event which may happen to your life or which might not. If you don't have to go through any of these events, which is great, but if somebody would have to go through any of these events, they would know that it could be very traumatic event. And in that particular scenario, you need all the amount or all the help you can get financially. So the trauma insurance does help you in those particular moments. The next one, which I would like to cover about, is the income protection. Now, income protection is basically to replace your lost income if you're off work for extended periods of time due to any injury or illness. And the next one is the mortgage protection cover. Now, the mortgage protection cover and income protection cover, they are pretty much very similar. The very much difference between the two is that income protection has an offset with ACC and the mortgage protection cover doesn't have any offset. What does that mean is that if you would go through any kind of accident and ACC would start paying you some amount every month, then possibility would be that income protection won't be paid out to you, okay? However, if you do have the mortgage protection cover, then even though if the ACC is paying you some amount, the mortgage protection cover will still pay you the extra. So you will be getting the 100% of the lost amount, the lost income. So going forward is the total and permanent disability cover, which is basically if a person becomes totally disabled. It could be the situation like somebody is paraplegic or somebody is gone through quadriplegic sort of situations. They are unable to do any of their daily activities. In those circumstances, again, the lump sum amount can be paid out to the person. Next one is the key person cover. Now, this has basically been recommended for the business people who are running through any kind of self-employed business. So what does that do is that in case if the main person is not being able to do the job or the key person is not being there, so to replace the key person, there is a key person insurance which can cover the cost, which can cover the income not being generated by the main person in the business. And the last but not the least is the shareholder and debt protection cover, which is basically a succession plan. What does that mean is, for example, if somebody would have two partners into a business and one partner may die, and what does that mean is that the person who is dead, maybe the family would take over. And that means the second partner would have to deal with the family instead of the person in charge who is gone from this world. So in actually protecting that kind of scenario, you would have a shareholder and debt protection cover, which is great for the businesses, right? So that is pretty much the discussion I wanted to do with in terms of the retail insurance side. Can we go to the next slide? Okay, so it's a group risk employee benefits. I would pass on to my colleague, Anthony. He can take over from here. Thanks.
Thanks, Ronnie. So I work specifically in employee benefits. So following on from what Shivani discussed there, all of the information that Shivani talked about, if you go through any of those insurances, you need to complete a medical assessment, and you get assessed from your current medical position with some underwriting there. For a group, if you've got 10 or more employees, group risk provides cover for staff, but without that need for medical assessment. So there's no questions asked and everyone is covered up to the limits provided by the insurer. So for instance, if you wanted to put in life cover for people and perhaps some trauma cover, covering up to 48 conditions, including the big ones like stroke and heart attack, and a number of others, there is no medical questions for any member of staff to be included in that policy. And every new member that joins is covered automatically from their start date. And similarly, if anyone leaves, we can then just provide a continuation option. And that is also contains the pre-existing conditions cover. So there's no medical questions asked if you continue that cover on a retail basis, if you should ever leave the company. So it enables the employer to engage with staff, offering a mixture of benefits and rewards, something different to salary. And it's also a heavily discounted product compared to retail policies. So it's a good way for the employer to attract and retain staff whilst keeping their costs down. The group insurance benefit offers 24/7 worldwide cover, and members can continue with the cover if they leave on the same terms that they had within the group. And then next slide, please. And similarly for health schemes, for companies with 15 or more employees, group health provides major medical health cover, which is the most sought after employee benefit according to PIC. And it prevents people from sitting on wait lists for a procedure or diagnostic testing. So you may have seen in recent articles, the cardiovascular testing is now up to 18 months for a wait list to get a test done, which is a bit of a concern if you're waiting for something to do with your heart. And group health insurance provides pre-existing conditions cover. So that means any sign, symptom, or illness that you've had previously is covered from the commencement of the policy. So in the worst case scenario, if you've had cancer diagnosis previously and you're in remission now and you're back at work, if as soon as the policy starts, you would be covered for cancer again moving forward. And that also extends to family members as well. So if you've got kids and family, they also get their pre-existing condition cover. So the most common procedures each month for the likes of Southern Cross are knee and hip operations. They've spent on average over $5 million every month on knees, and the same again for hips. And that's closely followed by colonoscopy exams. So there's a number of those. So it's all the elective stuff that people need to get fixed and helps them get back to work and on with life a bit quicker rather than waiting for surgery on a wait list. As I mentioned, the cardiac scans are now 18 months, and that's a bit of a concern given the situation we're in at the minute with people suffering long-term in pain. And it's the private medical insurance is really good for that, getting people back to work and in the office sooner. And of course, taking away that financial burden of the cost of the exams, which I'll go through shortly. Group health insurance also tracks around a 25% discount off the retail premium. Again, like the employee benefits on the risk side, members can continue to cover if they leave the company on the same terms, just paying a retail premium. Next slide. So to accompany the health stuff that is available in the general market for 15 or more, PIC have partnered with Accuro, New Zealand's best little health insurer, is their tagline, to offer companies with between 5 and 14 staff private medical insurance. So this is similar to the health insurance provided for 15 or more staff with pre-existing conditions cover, but it's for that 5 to 14 membership, which obviously covers a lot of the SMEs that we have in New Zealand. So it gives everyone and their families 45 days from their start date to join and take up those benefits with pre-existing conditions cover. The benefit is there for the premiums, 300k of general surgery, 65k of cancer cover, and up to 40k for non-pharmac drugs per policy year. So that compares to Southern Cross that offer 10,000 for non-pharmac drugs, and Unimed that offer 10,000 as well. So 40,000 is a massive amount for non-pharmac drugs each policy year. So they are a very good provider in the market based down in Wellington. And then members can add the specialist option, the GP option, the visual and dental, or the natural health modules themselves. Or if the company wishes to pay for that, they could include the specialist option, for instance, along with the base plan. And something that Accuro do is they offer children's cover up to the age of 25. So it keeps that premium at a child's rate for a lot longer than the other providers like Southern Cross is 21 and NIB is the same. There are some criteria that we must adhere to be able to offer this plan for companies, and that includes all members being ideally aged less than age 55 and a combined average age of 45 or less for the group as a whole. So that helps just mitigate some of the risks that Accuro have taken on for this small group of 5 to 14 people. And next slide, please. So this is just some information on the costs of things from Southern Cross. So there's small ones, obviously, like skin cancer removal, it's up to 2,500. Breast cancers can be up to 20,000, and varicose veins 6,000 or 7,000. Then you've got the big ones like heart valve replacements, it's up to 80,000. Hips, or average of 25, and knees are about the same. So that's where the 5 million every month comes in for those two. Prostates is another big one for 25, and then things for kids as well as like tonsils and squints and grommets. So always nice when you don't need to pay for those and you can go straight to private health for that. And next slide. And this is just something else we've got on offer as well. We've negotiated with Astron effectively a funeral plan. It's a $25,000 benefits, that is 24/7 payable on the death or terminal illness of an insured member. And we've got a fixed price of that of $50 per member per annum. So this benefit is paid to the company as the policy owner, and then you can determine how the funds are distributed, which could be to the family or towards recruitment costs or training or something else as a business that you determine. So that's available for any group if you've got 10 or more staff between the ages of 16 to 65. And then you can obviously provide a funeral cost for that member if they did die whilst as part of the business. And it gives you some peace of mind for supporting your team if the worst should happen. Okay. And the last one is just our details there. So our main line number there. And that's our group email, group@PIC. And for Shivani, that would just be life@PIC. And there's some other insurances we can offer. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anthony.
No worries.
And Shivani, thank you as well. So I'm
Thanks, Pretty.
hoping everyone got a lot out of that in regard to mainly around those employee benefits, but also around individual insurances and understanding the differences there. So again, I just want to reiterate that we will be recording this today. So if you want to make sure that you want to pass it on to anyone, it will be on our website available in the next couple of weeks. We also have Shivani and Anthony's information at the bottom here with their email and phone number. So definitely get in contact with them if you have any questions from today or just want to have a discussion around what you want to offer to your employees or individual circumstances. So thank you again, everyone, for attending. It's been absolutely lovely to have them both on today and hope you all got something out of it. So thank you again from Hunter Withers.
Thank you.
Thanks very much, Brigitte.